In tonight's video, we will be talking about the pros and the cons of teaching in the month of February, and I am dressed up as an emo person because today at school it was emo day. Hi, hey, hello, how are you? How are you? How are you? I'm forgetting the intro. Do you know what time it is? I will tell you what time it is. It's time for another Teddy Talks ASMR video. Whoa. My name is Teddy, and I'm talking in a sort of ASMR style. Like I just said, in tonight's video we will be talking about the pros and the cons. The pros and the cons of teaching in the month of February. Normally in this series I am at school. I'm not at school right now. We always talk about the pros and the cons of teaching each month, right? I can't believe we're on February already, but we always go through the day, the week, and then the month. There's a lot happening. So if you didn't see my last video, I talked about how my apartment was partially flooded, and I'm pleased to tell you that everything is okay. The carpet guy came today and we're good to go. I just thought I would film one more time in this spot because it is surprisingly comfy. The other thing that just happened that was really, really scary, it's not super scary to you, don't worry, but I tried to film this twice and I was using my really nice C414 AKG microphone. And is it AKG or AGK? AKG or AGK? AKG. I'm sorry, I might have messed that up in the last video when I was using it. Guys, I was using it and it just made the most disturbing, loud, static sound. And I pray that it's not going to happen with this setup. I think that something was wrong with my interface, but it didn't happen during the last video, and I really liked the audio quality of the last video, so I'm a little bummed, but I'm going to persevere and not let that ruin my vibe. And let's just hop into it. We got the Blue Yeti out. The Blue Yeti sounds great. I'm not mad at it at all. My look, so I could have done the pros and cons video at school, but then I wouldn't have been dressed up like this. We are currently in Spirit Week, and we'll talk a little bit about that in the video tonight. Emo Day was really fun, and I wanted to show you my look the last time. Sorry, I wanted to, this might have actually been a better setup so you could hear the sounds that my chains are making. Sorry, I'm getting silly. Anyway, I'm getting silly and distracted. So, I wanted to show you my look into a video because the last time that we had homecoming, we are in winter homecoming, and we usually have a fall homecoming in September. I was in a really funny soccer mom look. I don't want to post any pictures only because if I do that look again, I would definitely do a video, but I'm sorry, I'm a little rusty with holding this and everything. But the thing is, I got some news and there was a family emergency that day, and so I wasn't able to film, and I was bummed. And I'm never ever going to dress up and pretend that it's the day that it is. So I did a Darth Maul video, a Darth Maul roleplay for Halloween. That was fun because I dressed up for the video. But I'm not going to take this all off and then get it back on and lie and pretend that it's the day it is, right? I literally wore this out, and it was really funny. One thing I had to do, so I woke up had school, had work, and then left. I am bringing treats tomorrow. Hold on. I hope this isn't too loud. This video is going to be all over the place, I'm just warning you. So, I got donuts. You can see my nails there. Obviously I'm going to go all out for a dress up day, but donuts. I got donuts for a professional development, what is it called? Our professional learning community. Help me with this. We're just getting in all the sounds today. Also, not that it matters, but you might hear some internal rustling. There's something like wrong with this mic, I think, but whatever, guys. Sometimes you just gotta make the ASMR, or let the ASMR make you. So, yeah. I'm so cheesy, I love it. Okay, so, I went out like this. The point is I went out to Target dressed like this to get Krispy Kreme donuts for my professional learning community. And, surprisingly, I got into a conversation with a lady and she didn't even seem fazed, but people really don't mess with you when you have a smoky black eye and painted nails. And you're wearing all black and you look like this. I don't know. And I was wearing all this too at the store. So I wanted to show you the donuts and tell you about that. And I just wanted to film a video in like what I wore, right? And I'm not going to put this back on. And I also have to get ready for other days. The other thing I wanted to talk about, I'm actually like staying on track for once. The other thing I wanted to talk about was I want to make a video about dress up days and the decline in creative ideas, possibly. And also my history of dress up days, but I need to prepare pictures. I'm not gonna tell you that I did something and not show you a picture of it, especially for a dress up day. There's some pretty fun ones. Not only as a teacher, but as a student. And I really want to focus on the student ones and then show you a couple of me as a teacher, right? So, that will be coming, but I didn't want to film that video in this. I could have, but, the point is we're talking about the pros and the cons of February, and, a pro, spoiler alert, is Spirit Week dress-up days. They're fun. It's something you get to do in the month of February. You get to that's very hard to whisper, but you get to also do that in September, right? So, I just decided, hey, I'm going to film my February pros and cons. I'm going to break the cycle of filming at school and do it here, in the post-flood zone, because this area was flooded just a second ago. If you're curious about that, watch the last video. If you search flood on my channel, it'll pop up, and why not? It is what it is, really, right? It is what it is, and that's kind of the vibe for February. Oh wow. When I move, the thing inside moves, but I really like how that sounds. Okay. If you like any of the sounds, I can always do like a separate video. Does that do anything? Anyway. We always talk about the day, the month, and then the week. No, the day, the week, and then the month. So February. Again, going back to the point. January felt really long this year, and I'm not the type of person to say the month feels so long. Like, I feel like when other people think that a month or something is long, I don't always feel like it is. I feel like time is flying by, but I really do think that January was really long this year. January was really long this year, and February is a short month. Let's just talk about the day. So, it's been going really well. Yesterday was extremely strange because it went extremely well when all of my classes do a good job. board would be happening in action, and you would say, well, isn't that pretty easy? Not as easy as you think, and nobody complained, and there was no back talk. We just did it, and we lived our lives, and I felt like an actual teacher yesterday. I felt like an actual teacher yesterday. So that was good. Yesterday, by the way, was a comfy pajama day, so there wasn't really a lot to look at. I really was as comfy as possible, and I rolled out of bed and went to work. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love doing that, right? If you're not a teacher, you may never know the joy of going to work in your pajamas, right? Maybe you do, I don't know where you work. Today was emo day, and just a side note, I definitely grew up more in a scene environment. Like, I was more scene than emo, but you gotta represent, right? Emo's still cool, I think. And they're, adjacent to each other, really, if you think about it. So back to the point. Yesterday went well. Today was a little all over the place, but whatever. I just feel like everyone is getting a little restless, and I don't know why. I mean, I know why, but I don't. There's a lot happening, and I'm just dealing with it day by day. I actually know why, though, because this is our second full week in a while. Last week was a full week, and this week is a full week, so I just think that people are getting kind of tired and stressed out, even though, 5 days a week is normal. I really want to make a video at some point advocating for a 4-day week. 4-day weeks. A 4-day school week is really optimal, in my opinion. Let's switch gears a little bit. So, today was fine. I ran and got the donuts. I showed you the donuts. That's what I did. I went out in my little emo look, and I got donuts for tomorrow. Something that I did recently, these were made in the last few days, but I've been using them recently, right? Basically, they're little notes of encouragement, but they're on cutouts from Costco products. So a big box of Cheez-Its that has little Cheez-Its in it that says, "Keep going, you got this." Sometimes it's just put over the phone to remind the kids to keep going, right? And then the other one is from a big Pepsi case. It says, "Phone away, please." You gotta use fewer words sometimes when you're talking to students. It just gets the point across. So, okay, mic is still on. That's good. This was so much easier with my other microphone, but I'm gonna try to tap a little bit. And if you want a full video, I can definitely do that. So this is the Cheez-It reminder, right there. So off camera, I'm tapping on that. I can't really do it at the same time, right? Sorry, it looks kind of weird on camera, like I'm leaning into something. I don't know. The abyss. But I tapped on this for a video that I scrapped. I also talked about that in the last video. I'm getting over being sick, and luckily today it's going pretty well, besides my tech issues. This sounds amazing if you want a full video with that. And then this one is a lighter tap, and we will tap on that really quick. Just a lighter tap. A light tap. Sorry, I always get a little freaked out, moving the Blue Yeti around, and when I watch it back, it's always perfect. So I need to calm down, but these are my reminders. I just try to find fun ways to get the point across without being so direct, because I can just drop this on a phone and walk away. And on Friday last week, I used those reminders a couple times, and they worked in every situation. I'm kind of surprised that no one has thrown it away yet. I really appreciate that my students leave them laying around, and then I just collect them at the end of class. This one in particular covers a whole iPhone, so some of my kids, I'm like, hey, you should just leave it on top of your phone and try to forget your phone. But no, you kind of see it raised, so you don't forget your phone, but you do. And at least one or two kids left the Pepsi can on top of their phone and continued like having nonverbals. If you have not tried nonverbal stuff, try it out. If I wanted to, I could definitely, like, I could have done a whole video, like, walking through this look and doing triggers just with the look, or like showing you the nail polish, or like the eyeliner. And I had a piercing in too. I forgot to tell you. I forgot to tell you. I forgot to tell you. I had fake piercings, but either they fell off or they weren't sticking. And the nose, I had a septum. I swear I can pronounce words right, guys. It's just hard when I whisper. I had all the things, all the piercings, and the septum one was magnetic. I was scared it was gonna shoot up in my nose. It did not. It did not do that. But yeah, I don't know. I just felt like that was like going in a different direction, and I lost the eyeliner that I used. The eyeliner looked really good, and it was a pencil, and I sharpened it throughout the day, and I let people borrow it. I hope I don't get an infection or a sty in my eye. I doubt it. I've never had a sty. Comment down below if you've ever had a sty in your eye, because I have not. Okay, I was getting scared that my mic was gonna get mad at me, like my other one was doing. Honestly, shout out Blue Yeti for being consistent and not freaking out. I love you. Anyway, so we're gonna put a pin in it. We're going to stop talking about the look, and I already talked about my day. So let's talk about my week, and then we'll get into the pros and the cons, and the pros and the cons, right? I usually do it with both hands, and I don't have both hands, so the pros and the cons and the whatever. I talked about my day. My week is fine. Tomorrow's the middle of the week. I post videos on Mondays and Thursdays. Sometimes on Saturday if I have extra videos in the vault, but it's fine. It's Spirit Week. Things are just weird right now, I guess. I wish more kids dressed up. The teachers really are the ones that hold down Spirit Day where I work. And yeah, I don't know. I have some busy things happening. Things have just been so busy. I want things to be less busy. Because, again, my apartment flooded, and I was dealing with that all last weekend, and the guy came today, so it's like, I need to rearrange my room after this. So you probably won't see me in this spot for a while, unless I rearrange it different. And, like, I gotta put my bed back in here. I've been sleeping out in the living room, so I want a normal, quiet weekend for real. The time has come for us to talk about the pros and the cons of the month of February, and we're gonna go right into it, I promise. No one's really commented if they're annoyed by my style and my train of thought. I swear, when I plan things, it goes smoother, but sometimes you just can't plan. You gotta film and you want to film. You can tell I'm not sick anymore because I have a lot of energy. So I got my pros and my cons over there, somewhere. I don't know, somewhere over there, off to the side. The pros of February. My first pro is Black History Month, and that shouldn't be a weird pro. Like, Black History Month, especially where I work, is such a fun month. It's actually my favorite thing to teach. You can do so much, and there's really high stakes with it because it is such a serious time. It's historical, it's cultural. You can tie anything and everything into it while letting the students really explore people for themselves, people they know, people they don't, right? So Black History Month is so fun, and I switch it up differently every single year, so it's never boring for me, and kids will come back to me and kind of talk about certain lessons and units and stuff, so I know what works at this point and I know what does not work at this point. And you can include things for like a Hispanic Heritage Month or a Native American Indian Month. Like, you can talk about why are certain months celebrated at certain times. You can talk about like, yes, I am obviously not black, but I'm American, and we're talking about the achievements and contributions of Black Americans to, the United States where I live, right? conversations is ultimately what starts off the semester on a good note, you know? And where I work, they really place emphasis on Black History Month, and they usually do a Black History Month performance, which is really, really cool. So the students kind of do different performances to celebrate the month. The next pro of teaching in the month of February is the fresh start that comes with the start of a new semester. Now, technically we started in January, but things really kick off in February. We're about 3 or 4 weeks into our semester now, and it's just a fresh start. It's easier to plan the group of kids and the content, and even though we'll get into it, like maybe the morale and the drive to do the best goes down, that's really only temporary, right? But you can start over, you can start fresh, and you can reset expectations, and things that worked last semester might work this semester, and you kind of know what will not work for this year, right? Trying and implementing different subjects and tactics and management. It's really, sometimes it feels like alchemy, like you're just mixing things together, and it might work for a certain time and group of kids, and it might not work for other situations. So the fresh start is always nice. The next pro of teaching in the month of February is the year is halfway over. So obviously we just started a brand new year in January. However, the actual school year, it's halfway over. Like, we still have another half to do, but that first half is done. Like, whatever happened, and it can be a motivator. Like, listen, your first half of the year was rough, dude. Like, if you were struggling with friends or teachers or grades, like, that was rough. If it was rough for you, right? Try the second half. Like, it is a fresh start. We only have half the year. You don't have to think about the whole entire year. And students and even teachers can make that choice to kind of start again. But I feel like internally, even though it's winter, knowing that spring is coming up, instead of like going into like Christmas and going into winter at the end of the first semester, starting this semester with the year halfway over, you feel like some time has passed and like no one is acting brand new. Like, we all know each other at this point. We know what to expect. Like, we've been here, right? So it is kind of nice knowing in February and going forward, all we got is March, April, May, and a couple days in June. Like, I can get there. I can do it. The last pro that I have on this list is hello. The dress-up days, right? Smudging my eyeliner. The dress-up days are a huge pro. I don't know if I included that in September. September would have been my first pros and cons video. But dress-up days, especially with new classes, are a great way to break the ice and to kind of see who's willing to put themselves out there more. Of course, I'm always willing to act a fool, so like, I'm gonna put myself out there and be the one to like grab that attention, or at least take the attention off of other people, and like, I'll be silly with you, right? It's just so fun to have a job where you can dress up, and when there's a good dress up days like this one, I love. So the dress up days are really fun, especially in winter. It's cold, it's dark, we're tired, but it's a little bit of silliness that definitely goes a long way. You take pictures with people or videos, and you definitely look back on those. So the dress up days in February are much appreciated. So let's get into the cons of teaching in February. Teaching in February, the cons of it all, right? The first con of teaching in the month of February, this one's funny. Somehow the schedule is always messed up. Not the schedule, but like, your roster is not going to look the same in a week or 2 or 3. We're on week 3, and I'm still getting like different mixes of kids and all this stuff. I might have mentioned in a different video that I don't do rules and expectations expectations the first week. That's for week two, because it doesn't matter. Like the first week, kids are getting switched in and out like constantly. So I always do expectations the second week, and that makes things go so much better. I let them kind of like test the waters the first week, and then I got to clamp down week 2. It goes so much better. So sorry, I'm just thinking this one is making me laugh because when I came up with this list, it was a couple days ago, and I have a student that has been switched like back and forth and back and forth and back and forth to the point where I don't even know what hour they're in, and they'll come in and I forget that they're in a different class, and then they start doing the work and I have to kick them out, and it's a whole thing, like, and it's not even their fault. So anyway, yeah, so even though we're in week like 2 or 3, like the rosters of your people, like, just getting randomly, like, mixed up is a con, and I just want things to settle, and I want all the busy work to calm down, and that will come. It's never been as busy as it is right now, I feel like. Yeah, March is coming up too, and this will be kind of funny because I always make these in the middle of the month. I get observed in March this year, and it's like a special observation. There's going to be more people observing me because it's my 6th year teaching. They do like a big observation every 3 years, I think. So that'll be interesting. And my observation, I'm not nervous about it. I don't really get nervous for observations anymore because anybody can come in at any time and watch me. It's whatever. But it's the week before spring break. That's rough. Oh my gosh. It's like the week before Christmas and the week before spring break are rough. Okay, back to the point. So, yeah, the roster being messed up is annoying. The next con. It is so cold, especially where I live in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's just freezing. Now, this week has actually been crazy warm. It's like 30 or 40 degrees. That's not in Celsius, it's Fahrenheit. And it's been nice. It's been so windy, though, that it's just like, it's warm, but it's windy, but it's not warm. It's not balmy by any means, right? So, yeah, I have a heater at work, and I sit in front of the heater, and I warm myself up, and I feel like I have to wear a million layers. In February, it can be nasty cold. Sometimes March is worse. We'll see this year in 2026 if March is colder or not than February, because February was pretty brutal. Hence why one of my pipes burst in my apartment and it partially flooded. But it is so cold in February, even colder than like January, December. So that is a con for sure. The last con I have for February is having to push motivation. Again, kids get sluggish in the winter. And that's partially true. Sometimes I feel like there's a lot of energy in February when we first start, but I think since we're like a couple weeks into the semester, I'm starting to see the decline, even though Black History Month gets more students engaged. It just must be the year. It must be a year-by-year thing. But yeah, having to push motivation to the point where you're almost crashing out, and like, why can't you do just this one thing or these couple of things? You know, you can always try to set up rewards or use consequences, but no matter what you do, it's a lot of energy, and it's like, how much energy do I take from myself to push you to learn or just do something, right? So, I think a good way to kind of counteract that is to show a lot of videos in February. I don't think it's wrong to show a lot of videos for Black History Month because, you know, seeing certain events happen, I think, is more powerful than just reading about them constantly. Now, we do a lot of reading in my class because I'm a reading teacher. I do reading, so we do that. But it's kind of whatever line you want to walk. Like, I don't know. So, yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm kind of tired actually. Today, I feel like I really had to push my students today, and I will again tomorrow. But Thursday, Friday will be a little more chill. So, you know, it is what it is. We are almost to the end of the video. Now, if you've been around for the series, I always talk about the both category where things are both a pro and a con. Okay, so I didn't mention that in this video, but you should know by now some things are good and bad. It's the yin and the yang of it all, baby. So Valentine's Day is a pro and a con. It can be really cute to talk about not just like romantic love, but love between friends, having love for family. Like, you know, growing up, my parents did an excellent job of making Valentine's Day about family and not just romantic relationships. And I do think reminding people that love is not just romantic. You don't need romantic love to survive. I mean, it can be great. Like, it's just not for everybody. And for younger people to keep their eyes on like themselves and academics and stuff like that, like, don't risk everything for a guy or a girl, right? You do have to think about yourself and set yourself up. Like, we are setting you up for success, and some of the choices you make will hinder that success, right? Valentine's Day can be really fun to plan certain lessons around. You can do Valentine's. You know, students might ask you about your romantic life, whether you want to share that or not. It can be annoying. But yeah, I think it's good and bad. The bad part of it though is when students get way too gushy or like they show their affection to each other. No, cut it out. No, like, I do not. It makes my skin crawl when I see like this is probably gonna sound bad, but like, why are you doing anything, like any kind of physical contact at school? No, like, chop, enough, it's over. It's like, I do not want to see that. It just makes my skin crawl, like, to see that. I hate that. So of course you can imagine, like, Valentine's Day, it can be cute, it can also be really gross if it's like break it up, like, break it up. Like, I do not want to see you biting someone's neck or doing anything weird. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that. But like, yeah, I can't stand, like, that's a negative part of my job is like when I see things like that, you know, sometimes it's my place to call it out and sometimes it's not, but either way it's like, it's just too much and I do not want to see it. The next both is February is a short month. Now, you would think that'd be a good thing, but I feel like just with deadlines and stuff, like, we sometimes have to submit like paperwork or like get testing ready, and so we have to go through the kids we work with and like do a bunch of stuff. That's a pretty broad statement, but you get the gist, right? And so when it's a short month, like, realizing there's not a couple extra days and we either have like the 28 or 29 days or whatever, it can be good or bad. Like, it's going fast right now, but you know, deadlines and things like that, it's like, whoa, like, it's a short month. I have to remind myself about that. It can be good, it can be bad. The bad thing about it is sometimes you think that because it's short, it's gonna go fast, and when it doesn't, that can suck too. So those are my two things in the both category, Valentine's Day and it being a short month. Do you know what time it is? I will tell you what time it is. It's time for me to end the video. It's been Teddy Talks ASMR. I've had a lot of fun hanging out tonight. Again, I want to apologize because that's dramatic, but I'm sorry that I couldn't do this with the AGK. I double checked. So if there was any internal noise, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know what to do. Honestly, if you made it this far in the video, it was blasting white noise in my headphones, and I think I'm gonna have hearing loss because the gain was turned up so I could hear myself, and it happened twice. I basically eradicated my eardrums twice. So anyway, Yeah, we're gonna head out. Thanks for joining me. Hopefully my look didn't scare you throughout the video, but a lot of people at work seem to enjoy it. And that lady at Target talked to me, and she didn't seem fazed by it. There's other dress-up days, but I think I'll wait to talk about that until another video. But I'm gonna go hop in the shower and wipe this off and get ready for tomorrow and take the nails off to